You know, it's funny, when you look at who's financially free versus who's always stressed about money, it's rarely just about the size of their paycheck. So often, it actually boils down to the tiny, everyday habits that either quietly build you up or slowly tear you down. Let's kick things off with a number that really puts this all into perspective.
$400. So what's the big deal with this number? Well, for millions and millions of people, this exact amount is the tipping point between making it and a full-blown financial disaster.
That's right. For 1 out of every 3 adults, a simple $400 emergency, like a car repair or a surprise medical bill, is something they just can't handle. And get this isn't just a low-income issue. This kind of financial fragility is everywhere, across all kinds of careers and pay grades.
And that gets to the absolute heart of the matter. If a bigger salary isn't the magic cure-all, then what is? Well, the real difference, the thing that separates the two groups, is all about the fundamental habits and decisions we make with our money, day in and day out.
So, let's dive right in. In this first part, we're going to break down the common behaviors that keep people feeling financially stuck. We'll start with 2 of the biggest and most fundamental mistakes people make.
Okay, so the first huge reason people stay broke is that they're operating without any kind of financial destination. I mean, think about it. It's like jumping in your car for a cross-country road trip with no map, no GPS, and not even a city in mind. You're just driving. Without a specific goal, every decision you make about money is just a random guess.
And the second big one? Being completely unprepared for life. Here's the secret. Life's unexpected expenses aren't really that unexpected. Things are going to go wrong. Your car will break down, the dishwasher will flood, you'll need to see a doctor. When you have zero preparation for this predictable stuff, you're forced to make bad, desperate choices, like running up a high-interest credit card.
All right, let's really dig into the nitty-gritty here. We're going to unpack the most common habits that literally destroy wealth and trap people, and it doesn't matter how much money they make.
It all starts with your mindset. See, most people don't have any kind of spending plan, and that leads to what we call spending leaks. You know that feeling, right? You get your paycheck, you pay some bills, you buy some stuff, and by the end of the month, you're left scratching your head wondering, where did it all go? Those tiny, untracked purchases are draining you dry.
And this brings us to a massive psychological hurdle, the appearance trap. This is that need to spend money you don't really have on things you don't truly need, all to create an image for other people. It's leasing the fancy car or buying the designer watch, not because it works better, but because of what you hope people will think when they see it.
But here's the funny thing. Truly wealthy people, they almost always do the exact opposite. They're famous for driving older cars and wearing simple clothes because they understand a crucial secret. Every single dollar you spend trying to look rich is a dollar you can't use to actually get rich.
Now let's talk about the cost of some of these habits. And it's not always the big stuff. Just look at this. A single pack-a-day smoking habit can cost you $30,000 over 10 years. And that's not even counting what that money could have earned if you'd invested it. The same exact math works for eating out all the time or that daily $5 latte. These small leaks absolutely sink big ships. Next up, our relationship with debt. And this is so critical to understand. Not all debt is bad. There's productive debt, like a mortgage on a house or a loan to start a business, that helps you buy assets that hopefully grow in value. But then there's destructive debt, credit cards, car loans, financing a new TV. That's for stuff that loses value the second you buy it. One builds you up, the other tears you down.
So here's how most people handle their money, and it's completely backward. Step 1, they get paid. Step 2, they pay everybody else, the landlord, the credit card company, the power company, the grocery store. And then, step 3, they try to save whatever is left over. The problem? There's almost never anything left.
The wealthy completely flip this script. They use a principle called pay yourself first. The moment their paycheck hits, an automated transfer whisks a set amount of money away to their savings and investments. It's automatic. It's non-negotiable. They treat their future self as the most important bill they have to pay. Then and only then do they use what's left to live on. It's a simple switch, but it is an absolute game changer.
And the last piece of the puzzle is about growth. First, there's a deep fear of taking smart, calculated risks. People are so afraid of losing a dollar that they just let their money sit in a savings account where inflation slowly eats it alive. Second, they're totally reliant on a single paycheck, just trading their time for money. And third, they just stop learning about money after they leave school, which leaves them totally unprepared for the real world.
Okay, I know we've just gone over a lot of the problems, and it can feel a little bleak, but here's the good news, the really good news. Every single one of these habits is reversible.
So let's pivot and talk about the actual actionable steps you can take to start building real financial freedom.
The most important thing you can possibly remember is this: you don't have to blow up your entire life to fix this. Just being aware of these habits is the first giant step. From there, small, consistent improvements in just one or two of these areas will have an unbelievable impact over time.
So, what can you do, like, right now? Today, here are your first 3 moves. First, sit down and define one specific financial goal with a deadline. Second, start an emergency fund. I don't care if it's with just 20 bucks, just start. And third, for the next 30 days, track every single penny you spend. You cannot change what you don't see. And trust me, this simple exercise will be a massive eye-opener. Because at the end of the day, your financial future isn't carved in stone. It's not defined by your past or even your current salary. It's going to be built, one way or another, by the habits you start and the decisions you make starting right now. So the only question left is, what's your first move going to be?